I've actually learned a lot about evaluating programs recently, both in importance and the process. So I think I might take this as a teaching moment and explain the process of evaluating an intervention to you all. Each intervention has key stakeholders that would aid in an evaluation. In this case, that would include homeless individuals, House of Friendships, Region of Waterloo Public Health, Waterloo Region of Police Services, and community member advocates. To begin the process and determine our method of evaluation, we must put forward questions that we want answered. For this evaluation, the main question to be answered is the impact of this program for those who are currently experiencing homelessness. To ensure an effective evaluation is performed, both internal and external validity must be established. Internal validity refers to ensuring that the intervention itself has had the effect that it claims to have, and not an external factor. External validity refers to whether or not the results of the intervention can be reproduced in other.
What variables would you consider for this intervention? Are you taking into consideration both independent and dependent variables?
Yes, we will be evaluating independent variable, which would be the intervention itself, and dependent variable, which would include increased housing stability and improved quality of life. Let's move forward to how we will be evaluating this intervention. First, we will do this by comparing this intervention to previous projects using their secondary archive data from their studies and use their success as a guiding point to determine what success looks like for us.
When doing research on the House of Friendship, I did find a comparable intervention on the Housing First model, which was conducted across 5 Canadian cities, including Toronto and Moncton, which have a similar population as KW. One of their findings showed that participants spent 73% of their time in stable housing compared to those who were not in Housing First, who were only in stable housing for 32% of the time. 61% of those in Housing First rated their lives as being better than at the beginning of the intervention, compared to only 28% of those outside the project.
Exactly. Since this intervention has a similar approach to the shelter care model, we can use it as a base for our own measurements of success. With similar approaches and target populations would make both interventions compatible for comparison. Taking them both together, it would be reasonable to set our own measure of success to having at least half of participants or more indicate that they feel there has been a positive change. By setting the initial evaluation slightly below those of comparison groups, it can become a baseline for how the program changes over time. This will be assessed through semi-structured interviews where participants will have a chance to share their thoughts with evaluators on how their intervention has and continues to be.